All right, moms and dads, one of the questions that I have been getting is, or comments, is that my child is not responding well to paper and pencil. I'm having a hard time getting them to do those things. And I would expect that. So, because this is just not, paper and pencil is really not appropriate for 3-year-olds and some 4-year-olds. Just depends. So I'm going to show you some things that you can do at home. I literally just went through my house and gathered up a whole bunch of stuff that I had laying around my house, most of which you will probably have or find at your house as well. And I'll show you what I have, and then we will go through a demonstration of how to set it up or how to just have a little activity station at your house for your kiddo to go to when they are ready or when they want to do something. Or maybe a couple of different activity stations, a little workstations. So I happen to have this tray that someone gave me at Christmas time, which is super cute, and I had it, so I just cleared it off and I brought it to show you. You might have a tray similar to this. You don't really need a tray either, but if you have one, I had something like this left over from some event or something a long time ago. In my cabinets, in my drawers, I found tongs. You might have different tongs, that's totally fine. Measuring spoons. I have little scoops. I don't even know what from, but I had them. A little plastic spoon would work. A child's spoon. And a whisk. You might have other types of spoons. Tweezers, folks. Tweezers will be really, really great for your kiddo to use. Or any types of little spoons that you can use, and we'll show you how to use those. I have a couple of plastic cups that could be used. I had a fancy teacup. That was actually a gift also. I had a couple of different kinds of bowls that this is actually a lid to a thermos, so that could be used as well. I had candle holders. You can still see there's like a little wax in the bottom, but I could clean that out if I wanted to. They're matching, but they don't have to be matching. I had this candle holder also. So let me go through and show you what you can do with some of these things. And then I have a couple of other activities. Okay, so 2 bowls, similar sizes, or they don't have to be similar sizes. You can use anything. You can put pasta in there, macaroni pasta, rice, beans, dried anything that you have. I actually just brought some oatmeal because I thought that would be good enough. And it hasn't even been opened. Great. So just put a little dried oatmeal in there. If you don't have a tray, you could just sit this out on the table. And with a scoop, spoon, whatever, we'll use a scoop. Okay, so what you need to know is where the dried ingredients start, always put it in on the left side, and that's where it should always end, and that is to support reading development. So that is one thing that you want to make sure they do. It always starts on their left side, they move it over to the right, and then move it back to the left before they're finished. And that is the whole cycle of this activity. And so they would just scoop all the way over and then scoop all the way back. Just for time's sake, I'll pour back. Now, you can also use the oatmeal for pouring. So for a pouring activity, we always use 2 hands to pour. So we hold it with our dominant hand. And always pour back. Again, you start on the left side. The container that is full first is the container on the left side. Okay, and so you could use all these spoons, your measuring spoon, or whatever, to do one of those activities. And that is something that's super simple. You have something at home, I'm sure. Even the little kids' toddler bowls, you could use 2 toddler bowls and have them sit up with a spoon that they can just move the things over and move them back. This is a transfer item. And the same, you would just use 2 hands to pour, always. Always use 2 hands to pour if you're pouring in from 1 cup. Now, you could pour water. You don't have to have something dry. If your child is doing well with the dried ingredients, you can always put water in here and have them pour water with a sponge or something that's available to clean it up if they spill. I also brought dried seasoning. That would be another thing that everybody should have in their cupboard that you can use to spoon or pour back and forth. Or salt, sugar, something like that. And it's easy to clean up, so be prepared. I mean, you're going to probably have some messes, but it's easy to clean up. And if you have a dustpan and a brush, they can clean it up. Jackson, will you go get some water, please? In here? Okay, so here's another Here's another activity. I gathered up some things in my house that I could use. I got a bunch of different containers with different types of lids. It's just right there, thank you. And so, hey Jackson, will you go close that blind, please? It's really bright. So I've got different types of containers with different types of lids, so that you could sit these containers in front of them on the floor or at a table, and they just practice at opening them. Pull the curtains down. And so once they take all the containers off, the lids off, then they can put them back on. And these containers have different types of openings, so that's why I chose those. So we have a twisting, we have a flipping, we have a pulling. So that would be a fun, easy activity that you could do with your child at home. And maybe you have a basket to put all these containers in. That way they can go get it whenever they're ready for it and take it to the table or the floor. And FYI, you can always just use a towel on the floor as their workspace to kind of keep things consistent with what we do at school. Okay, this next activity your child is going to love. If you have a great big bowl or a medium-sized bowl, you can bring that and make sure this work has to be set up on a towel because it's likely to get a little wet. If you have a straw in your house, my house, we always have extra straws. You might have reusable straws. Or a whisk. Most every household has a whisk. Ooh, Dawn dish soap. Will you bring the soda? And a measuring cup. Most households have a measuring cup. They might also want to have a washcloth with this to help clean up any spills or drips that can happen. But again, we're going to set it up from left to right. All right, so everything would be on the left. The last step would be your cleaning step, which I don't have a washcloth right here, but you would put a washcloth there for them. All right. This is bubble making. Okay, there's 2 different ways we can do it. You pick one at a time. Okay, so only offer the whisk or only offer the straw. And then the next day or in a couple of days, you can offer the opposite of what you did before. So, oh, thank you. I got my assistants here. Here's my cloth, my drying cloth that I'll have here. Because not everyone has sponges. So, you need water, Dawn dish soap. You might drip this for them depending on the size of the container of Dawn, but literally they only need a few drips. Okay, oops, that came out real fast. Okay, with the whisk, this is an awesome motion, wrist and hand strength for sure. and just have them whisk in the bowl and make all the bubbles. The faster you go, the more bubbles, but they have to focus on not getting any of that water or bubbles outside of the container. Super fun. I will try to show you my bubbles. You see my bubbles? Yay! And for bubble blowing, they would need a straw, and they breathe in.
Cool.
And the bubbles look a little different. Can you see the big bubble I made right there in the center? So those are some really super easy, and super fun activities that you can have set up right at your house for your kiddo. And this will help them with their concentration, their organization. They have to go in order, setting things that are, going through the process of getting to a work, and things like that. So, and their coordination, eye-hand coordination, and all those good things. And independence. We still want our children to be practicing independence. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you, you may or may not have. I found some of these things in a craft container from when my kids were super young. I had some pony beads. Okay. This is a container with just different types of beads in there. My daughter actually used that in making slime. There's some different kinds of pony beads that have holes in them. And I happen to have a couple of pipe cleaners. I have all sorts of pipe cleaners, actually. I'm not sure why. Not right now, please. But anyway, I have a lot of pipe cleaners here at the house. So stringing on these beads onto the pipe cleaner is super fun and super easy. Just give your child a little bowl of beads if you have them, and one pipe cleaner, and just see if they can fill it up. Great eye-hand coordination, great fine motor practice. This is a really, if you have it. Now, if you don't have pipe cleaners, but you might have yarn, or you might have string, or you might have ribbon from Christmas, this will work exactly the same. So you might want to cut the string so that they don't unwind the whole entire thing. But you can string on beads onto a string. So there's lots of different ways to make that work. Also, I talked with some of you yesterday about sorting activities and things like that. So if you have beads or little things at all, different types of pasta, you might have rotini and bow tie, or you might have macaroni and penne, pastas that they can sort. Just make a bowl. Like you might fill this little bowl and then have them sorted into pile, or coins. All of the coins that, like quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies. Put a bowl of all of them together and have them sort them out. Or if you have something of different colors. So I don't know why. I think I had this from, who knows? Who really knows? They're little glass beads. We actually have these glass beads in our classroom right now that they can use to spoon, or use the tongs or tweezers. The tongs or tweezers to like move from one bowl to the other. So there's lots of different things that you can do just out of some things at home. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that it works out. If you have any questions about how to do something, how to set it up, let me know. But otherwise, send some pictures. I need to get some feedback. I need to see what's going on at home, how it's all working out, and what activities you've made for your child. So let me know. Keep me posted. If you have any questions, just reach out to me some way, somehow. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with this.